In other news, with about every team in pursuit of Kawhi Leonard, Adrian Wojnarowski reports today that the Raptors will get the final meeting presentation after everyone else pitches him next week in Cali. And if you think Toronto's sell begins and ends with the fact that they accomplished big things this year, Lou Williams on Gilbert Arenas' podcast thinks there's other factors to consider when you're playing up north.
Like, once you're there, you'll love playing for the Raptors. You'll love playing for the country, because it's the whole country. And then you like that fourth, fifth month into the season, you like, man, I want to go home. When you play in Toronto, you feel like you're playing overseas. Like, we can't wait to go on the road sometimes just to be in America. Once you're there, you're like, oh, this is dope. But the hard part is keeping guys there.
Yeah.
Seemingly unbothered by everything happening in North America, Kawhi, who's living his best life in Barbados and wearing this Blue Jays jersey as pictured here. And I'm not saying that Barbados and Canada were both possessions of Great Britain at one point and that Kawhi is a big 17th century history fan, but I'm just saying that the clues are there if you are all in on irrational conclusions. We're back with Stephen A. Smith. He doesn't have irrational conclusions. He has tangible stuff. You just heard what Lou Williams had to say about playing in Toronto. He's obviously a Clipper. They're obviously in play for Kawhi. But now that the Lakers apparently have some money to pursue a max player, what potential impact could that have on Kawhi's decision?
Well, I don't think it would be fair if Kawhi was paired with LeBron and AD, just crown the Los Angeles Lakers champions, even though I don't think it would be ideal for Kawhi, because Kawhi has been the #1 option, and obviously that would change. That would be altered a bit in L.A. Talk about having to share the load. That's clearly what he would have to do. The belief has widely been that if he didn't stay in Toronto, he would go to the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers won 48 games last year without a star. And so him going to that squad in his hometown of Southern California and what have you certainly bodes well for him. But Masai in Toronto can make a case. We're the reigning defending NBA champions. We won 58 games this past season. You've got a great chemistry and camaraderie with your teammates. Everybody recognizes that you are the superstar of this franchise. It is a hard call to make because there's no losing situation for him no matter how you slice it.
We're all kind of waiting to see what happens in Houston as well. I know throughout the week we've been listening to Woj reporting that the Rockets are planning to recruit Jimmy Butler, trying to push the Sixers for a sign and trade. What are you hearing about what's happening with Butler at this point?
Well, first of all, I came on SportsCenter a few weeks ago and talked about how James Harden and Jimmy Butler had been talking quite often about Jimmy Butler coming to Houston. So there's no surprise there. Number two, you've got Owen and Tillman Fertitta that definitely want to change. And if you can't have an assistant coach on the bench to usurp or push Mike D'Antoni to really get in guys' face and make adjustments during the game and late game situations and play some significant defense, then why not go out there and get a rough rider like Jimmy Butler as a player willing to do that for you? So you're looking at it from that perspective, and you can understand why Houston would want a Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler with James Harden, CP3 certainly seems formidable. I don't like it one bit because I don't think D'Antoni could coach all three of them. I think he could do 2 of the 3, but not all 3, particularly because of the personalities that the 3 harbor with one another. I think it's a disaster waiting to happen.
And until we know what happens, I'll just sit back and enjoy all the GIFs and the internet and having so much fun speculating on what a locker room would look like with those 3 dynamic personalities in it. Stephen A. Smith joining us on SportsCenter to talk about free agency, which is just a few days away. Hang in.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.